Hello and welcome to those who has just joined us. I am Coralie Fayot, in charge of NodOn Marketing and Communications. Thank you for joining us today for the 30 minutes webinar. It will consist of a 15-minute presentation followed by 15 minutes of questions and answers. I'll give the floor to Alexis Polegato, CTO of NodOn, and Thomas Gauthier, CEO and founder of NodOn. I invite you to write your questions on the chat at the bottom right of your screen. We will answer those by the end of the webinar. I will let the speakers know about your questions. As you may notice, this webinar is part of a collection. All replays of NodOn webinars are directly available in our YouTube channel. For more comfort, I invite you all to cut your microphone and cameras during the webinar. Thank you. So this webinar will be recorded and will be available in the next few days. I will send you the PDF and replay. Thank you all for joining us today. We are ready to start. I let Alexis begin the presentation.
Thank you, Coralie, for this introduction. So welcome to this webinar that will start right now. So the goal of this webinar is to talk about the smart home technologies of today and tomorrow, such as Zigbee, Bluetooth mesh in chip. We will then present you the solution we have created in order to help you to develop your smart home project in a fast and easy way. Do not hesitate to ask your question during the presentation and feel free to give us any comments. We will come back to it at the end of the webinar during the Q&A session. So we will first talk about the Zigbee protocol and see how it works. As you can see there, Zigbee is a full stack protocol divided into different several layers. At the bottom, we will first find the radio layer. So Zigbee is a protocol based on IEEE 802.15.4 standards and works on the 2.4 GHz ESM band, which is interesting because it's a global frequency band contrary to the sub-gigahertz protocols, which don't always use the same frequency in every country. It is also a low power and low data rate protocol, which makes a perfect protocol for the smart home, where we want to send only a few amounts of data. Then we can find the network layer, which will define how the products will communicate together. So Zigbee is a mesh protocol, which is built from a coordinator, so the gateway of the network, that you can see in red on this schema, and which can be connected to several routers and end devices. So this kind of architectures allow to build a large network which can go up to 65,000 devices. The next layer is the main part of the Zigbee protocol, which is the application layer, or the Zigbee cluster library. So this applicative layer defines the language which is used by the devices to communicate together. The interesting thing is that the library has been built by the Zigbee Alliance, which counts more than 400 companies and could benefit from a large database with various knowledges. So we can find more than 100 device types and clusters, which allow to build any type of product you want. Finally, the last layer is for the certification. So the certification is there to make sure that the product respect the standard of the Zigbee protocol. If you can see this Zigbee logo on a product on its package, this means that the product has been certified and is compatible with any Zigbee ecosystem. So the Zigbee protocol has been created in 2003, so it has been there for more than 15 years. And yet, it has never been as popular as today. So why are we talking so much about Zigbee today? At NodOn, we have been interested by Zigbee for more than several years, for several reasons. So the first one is the recent creation of the Zigbee 3.0. So the Zigbee 3.0 allows the standardization of the protocol and then its interoperability in any network. So as I was saying before, the Zigbee product has to be certified by a specific organism to ensure the respect of the protocol. So the notion of interoperability is for us a key point in the realization of a good smart home project. The second reason which made us work on Zigbee was the recent development of the green power. So the green power is a functionality that allows compatibility of energy harvesting solution in a Zigbee network. As you may know, at NodOn, we do find a strong interest in energy harvesting capabilities, and the possibility to create a product without any battery is a key point for us to make a good smart home protocol. Let's talk about the Bluetooth mesh now. As Zigbee, the Bluetooth mesh is a full stack protocol divided into several different layers. Yeah, we will not go in details of each layer, but we will talk about three main elements. So the first interesting thing that we can see is that the Bluetooth mesh is built on the top of the BLE, so the Bluetooth Low Energy. This means that we are on the 2.4 gigahertz band, like Zigbee, and then we can eventually connect the smartphone to the Bluetooth mesh. The second element that we can notice is that the Bluetooth mesh includes an applicative layer as well. This applicative layer is defined by models, which determines the different type of products you can create. However, in the opposite of Zigbee, the Bluetooth mesh is a very young protocol, which exists for 2 or 3 years only. So we will still lack of maturity on this protocol, and only a few ecosystems are based on Bluetooth mesh today. Last thing is that even if Bluetooth mesh follows some standards, the certification process of Bluetooth is not as strict as other protocols. So you need to be careful when developing a Bluetooth mesh product to check the compatibility with other ecosystems. The topology of the Bluetooth mesh network is very interesting. As I was saying before, the Bluetooth mesh is based on the BLE, which means that we can connect to the network with a smartphone. So the smartphone is not directly Bluetooth mesh compatible, but it can have access to the network through a proxy device, as we can see there on the picture in red. The smartphone is not necessarily interesting for daily usage, but it can be very convenient to configure your products and to set up your network. Because of this, the gateway becomes optional. So of course, you still need the gateway in the network if you want to keep a remote access, but this will really depend on the final application. Another benefit from a network based on Bluetooth is to be able to do indoor localization, which gives interesting application for smart building and industry. And finally, the Bluetooth mesh has been conceived to work with low power devices, so eventually using energy harvesting solution. To do so, those devices are associated with friend nodes, which will allow them to exchange with the rest of the network. Once more, this compatibility with energy harvesting technology is for us a must-have in smart home ecosystem. We will now talk about the chip. The chip means a connected home over IP. So I guess everyone's heard about the project Connected Home over IP. Otherwise, hear what you've missed. So the Chip4 group has been created last December by Amazon, Apple, and Google, together with the Zigbee Alliance, in order to make compatible the future smart products from the market with the ecosystems and their voice assistants. So we all know their solutions, Amazon Alexa, Apple HomeKit, and Google Home, but until now, they were working on their own. They have finally decided to work together to build a new and unique protocol to ease up the development of new smart products and make them directly compatible with their solutions. In addition of these 4 players, we can also see that the main industrial groups such as IKEA, Legrand, Schneider Electric, Signify, or Somfy have also joined the project. Here's the representation of the protocol as it has been unveiled when chip has been announced. So the particularity of this protocol is that it is made of a unique application layer, the one which will be used to communicate with the other ecosystems, but from different radio layers. So indeed, as said in the name, the protocol is based on IP, which includes protocols such as Ethernet or Wi-Fi, which can be found in A and in the network layer. So the protocols we are talking about until now, Zigbee and Bluetooth Mesh, are unfortunately not compatible with chip, since they are not IP-based protocols. On the other hand, here we can see that the thread is in this list of compatible protocols. So let's talk about thread. Thread is a protocol based on IPv6, which makes it directly compatible with chip. It communicates on the 2.4 GHz band, and even if it's IP-based, it's still a low-power protocol, contrary to Wi-Fi, for example, which consumes more energy. It is also based on a mesh network and has really been created for smart home application. Thread does not include an applicative layer. It consists only of a network protocol. Therefore, it cannot be used as a unique protocol as the Zigbee or the Bluetooth mesh. So here, Thread is then the perfect choice to work with chip, since it's IP-based and it can get the application layer from chip. So here we have seen different technologies we can use for smart home applications, and you might ask yourself, which one is the best one to start a new smart home project? And if I told you that to start this new project, you didn't need to choose your protocol right now. As you may have noticed, each protocol I've presented today has a common characteristic, which is the 2.4 GHz band. It's why I would like to show you the solution we have created, the 2.4 GHz platform. So this platform relies on the fact that each of those protocols, Bluetooth, Thread, and Zigbee, are all working on the 2.4 GHz band. And consequently, each of those protocols can be used on the same hardware. So those hardwares are ready, approved, and certified. You just need to adapt the applicative firmware to make it compatible with your ecosystem, if it's not already done. Then you can label and sell it with your own board. This is one of the fastest ways to commercialize new products and go up your ecosystem. So how does it work? It's quite simple. We have developed a generic hardware which will allow you to customize the product as you wish. So let's take the example of the micro module. First of all, you can choose the key functionality you want, such as lighting, color shutter, heating, and so on. Then you can choose your preferred stack solution. So we have built our hardware based on solutions from Scilab and Nordic. Then you can develop your very own application with the protocol of your choice. And then, if you're not sure, you can still change during your development. The hardware will remain the same. At the end, you can customize the product as you need. So with specific stickers and packaging, for example, you can add a QR code on the sticker, or including a unique ID, for example, or you can add your logo on the packaging and so on. In addition of these micro modules, this solution is already available on the most of our generic hardware, such as smart plugs, sensors, and remote controllers. In each case, you can really adapt the product to meet your expectation. So on the sensor, for example, you can choose to build a temperature sensor or a door opening sensor by using the same hardware. As explained, the platform is compatible with any public and private stacks from the 2.4 GHz band. You can see a non-exhaustive list here. This means you can create a partnership with any stack provider from your applicative firmware and make it work on our platform. You have the best of two worlds, hardware and software. This 2.4 GHz platform solution is included in a global OEM and ODM program So I invite you to find the presentation of this program in our last webinar, which is available online on YouTube. I will then conclude this presentation and go to the Q&A session. So if it's not done already, I invite you to ask your question in the Zoom chat box.
Thank you, Alexis, for the presentation. There's a first question. Is your solution chip compatible?
Yes, the solution is compatible with chip, with thread. So for the moment, chip is not is still in development, but it's still in development, and we don't have all the specification yet. But the thing is that we developed the solution based on the based on the chip from Silicon Labs and Nordic Semiconductor, which will be most likely the one will be compatible with thread. Thread is already available on it, but it will be most likely compatible with chip through thread protocol.
Thank you. Another question, are hardware design and firmware design open to community?
They are not open to community, but it's like we have we build a partnership with you, and then we can share the information like hardware and firmware which you need. For the firmware of the module, you can use some stack, as I was saying, that public or private. So some stack are public and you can find it online, or some stack are private and sometimes you need to pay for it.
Thank you. What is the cost for standard development using this platform?
So we'll let Thomas answer this question.
Yes, hello everybody. Regarding the cost, as explained by Alexis, when you're using the 2.4 gigahertz platform, you use mostly R&D design which are already existing. So taking the example of the roller shutter, all the control part of the roller shutter is existing software from NodOn. The mechanical is the same, so we don't have to redevelop everything from you. So basically, usually the investments, the NRE investments for such OEM program is pretty low compared to what you will have to pay if you start from the white page. So usually it could be around several thousand euros. So it could be sometimes it's 15,000 euro if you just take the product as it is. It can go up to 20, 30 or 40,000 euro if there is a lot of customization to do, but we are more talking about 1,000 than talking about 100,000, which will be the case if you would start from the white pages. So it's a program which allow you to get a product on the market very quickly and at I would say something like 10 or 20% the investment you would require from scratch.
Thanks, Thomas. Will you provide a chip implementation?
So yes, that's one of the goals of this platform. So right now we have joined the Zigbee Alliance, which is holding the project of chip, and we are following the specification of the development of the specification of chip, and we will mostly develop modules compatible with chip through the thread protocol. So as I was saying, the thread protocol is available on our platform. So right now we don't have any applicative layer for the thread protocol, but as soon as chip is released, we will develop some product using the chip protocol.
Thank you. Currently, is it used by any customer across globe?
Yes, it is. I will let Thomas reply to this.
Yes, so our 2.4 gigahertz platform is already used by multiple customers. We have customers in France, we have customers in Norway, we do have customers in Austria, in Dutchland, in Germany, sorry. So we have multiple customers which are now using this platform, and above all, this platform, the core technology of this platform is built on the same, how to say, the same layer, the same hardware layer than all our existing products, which means that when you use the 2.4 gigahertz platform for lighting control, for example, you taking advantage of a hardware which has been sold on the market for the last 5 or 6 years, and which has been installed around 200,000 or 300,000 units worldwide. So it's not a product we're just releasing and we hope it's going to work. It's a product that is on the market for a long time now, which is approved by the market and which is installed for many years and working and satisfying customers worldwide.
Thank you, Thomas. Can those products at the same time be compatible with Alexa and Google Home?
So the goal of chip is actually to make this compatibility. Today is not possible. So today the module, the platform, and the product you can build can be compatible with Alexa directly in Zigbee, for example, because the Alexa Echo Plus is using Zigbee. So we have already developed some modules compatible with this. Otherwise, the other Zigbee, Alexa devices are using Bluetooth, for example. So you can think about compatibility with BLE and Alexa, for example. But the final use would be to be able to communicate with these solutions through chip.
Is the Bluetooth mesh mature enough?
The Bluetooth mesh is mature. Yeah, it depends really of your application. So at the very beginning, they focus on the lighting system, for example. So for this kind of application, it was very interested. Then it will really depend on the application. So for example, if you want to target a smart home, like for end user, you will not find many ecosystems using Bluetooth mesh. But if you want to build your own ecosystem, or if you want to target the industrial and smart building application, then it can be reliable enough. And then there is many stacks available to use Bluetooth mesh and makes the development of the product easier.
How about the cloud integration, AWS or Azure? If required, do you support cloud integration as well?
Thomas, you want to reply to this one? Or?
Yes, I can. So basically, the protocol we are talking here are not protocol which are directly connected to the cloud. We're talking more about low power protocols like the BLE, the Zigbee, Thread, or chip. So there is no direct integration with the cloud, but this is not exactly for what the purpose is. Usually when you go through the cloud, you go through a gateway which is supporting the low power protocols such as the Zigbee, and then the gateway makes the link with the cloud. But anyway, while we're talking about protocols like chip or Thread, it's an IP-based protocol, which means that we still need to go through a gateway to go through the cloud. The gateway could be a smartphone in the case of the BLE, but you still need the gateway. But the frame and the framing of the messages is already IP standard, so it makes the integration to the cloud and the transfer of the information through the cloud much more easier than it could be with current standards. So basically, it's going to be much more seamless for the users to have a cloud connection. But this is not the purpose of low power smart home protocols to be directly connected to the cloud.
Thank you, Thomas. How far can you support the development aside from the hardware and firmware, like for building the controller or the gateway, and also up to the cloud, especially for the Bluetooth?
I can answer if you want.
Yeah, if you want.
So basically, within NodOn, we do have the resources to do complete hardware, firmware development, and the industrialization and the manufacturing. In fact, NodOn is part of a group which is called Altior, which is having its own R&D facilities in France, and we have our own manufacturing capability in China. So most likely we have no limitation on the hardware side. Could be on NodOn side, we more focus on the nodes, but on Altior side, we could even imagine work with you on the gateway and the controller side. Then talking about the cloud or the application or so on, we have a specific consulting program to help you choosing the correct app, the correct cloud to make sure your installation gonna work depending the scalability you require. So basically, do stuff we won't do ourselves. We won't do the app ourselves. We won't do the cloud ourselves, but we can help you to define it, and we can connect you to our network of cloud provider, app provider, stack provider. Because our background in this smart home industry help us to have a very good overview about what is available and what is reliable and what is adapted to your need.
Thank you. Another question, which module do you use for energy harvesting?
For energy harvesting, we mainly work with NodOn. So we work with NodOn for a long time because of the NodOn protocol, but NodOn as always, has also some devices working in BLE and Zigbee. So these devices are compatible with the ecosystems. For example, you can have devices from NodOn working on Zigbee, and which will be compatible with our modules using the green power device.
What is the code size left for the application? Is Nordic chip also the main controller?
Yeah, so depending of you can choose from Nordic chip or Scilabs. So the code size left will depend of the choice, because the choice you made, because there is different size of flash and so on. So you can choose to customize this part if you need, depending on your application. So it can be from 500 K to 1 megabyte of flash, and then we use the SDK of the stack provider, and then it will depend of each what the application you want, what kind of for example, if it's Zigbee, what cluster you want, and so on. So usually you have enough size left for the application you need, because the stack takes some space, but the application you will have to write by yourself is quite low compared to the size of the stack.
Thank you. Do you mean by chip the same chip protocol that are being developed by the big giants, Apple, Amazon, etc., with Silicon Labs?
Yes, yes, we are meaning. So chip like the connected home over IP. So this is built from mainly Apple, Google, and Zigbee Alliance, and so on.
Will you allow us to integrate your hardware core and protocol stacks in our own products, which we manufacture ourselves?
I will let Thomas reply to this.
Yes. So basically, I would say I would say no, because we are hardware manufacturers. So what we do sell is hardware, including some technology we put inside. So this is, I would say, the standard. But if the question is, you have 5 products and you will ask us to manufacture 2 or 3 of them, but you would require some technical support and technology to put in the 2 others product that you're going to do yourself. This is something we can discuss, but we're not a software company, so at some point we need to sell hardware, and most likely, even if you have manufacturing capabilities, sometimes it's much more easier and much faster to go directly with our manufacturing premises. But let's discuss. If you have a specific need, we're still open-minded, and we're happy to discuss with you to see if it's applicable or not. And sorry for the baby sounds at the background.
Do you have other questions? If not, well, I invite you to, well, firstly, thanks for joining us today. And we would like to get your feedback, so I will send you the link of a quick survey. I also invite you to follow our news on LinkedIn and Twitter, and I will write the contacts if you have any projects, and let Alexis finish the webinar. Thank you.
So thank you all for your participation, and thank you for your question and so on. It was very interesting. So I hope you enjoy this, you enjoy the smart home market as much as us. And if you have any question, you can find our contacts there, and do not hesitate to send us a message or anything if you have some more questions or if you need some information. Thank you very much, and have a good day. Bye bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Alexis. Bye bye.